Welcome to College Hoops Weekly, presented by Jif.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Quay, here with Sports Illustrated college basketball writer Emma Baccellieri to preview the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 of the Women's NCAA Tournament. We have two regional locations this weekend, Birmingham and Spokane. Which region will be the most watched?
I'm going to go with the most interesting one for me is Spokane 1, which is where you have UCLA and Ole Miss. But then the matchup I'm really excited for is NC State and LSU. You know, we now have a fully healthy LSU team. I'm excited to see how they match up against NC State's four-guard lineup. I think that is one that I'm circling that should have a lot of fun action.
All four number one seeds are in the Sweet 16. Rank the four teams most likely to make the Final Four and the least likely to get to Tampa.
Most likely I'm going with South Carolina, which I think is in a region that is really well set up for them to dominate and breeze through. They like those strong defensive matchups, which is what they have, and potentially Duke as a number 2 seed. I'm going to go with them as the most likely. Behind them, UCLA. This is the number 1 overall seed in a bracket that I think they can move through pretty well. And Texas, and then unfortunately, hardest path, USC. I think this was the case before Juju Watkins got injured. They have UConn as the number 2 seed. That's a very, very tricky region to get out of. And certainly without Juju Watkins, it is much harder.
And now for our difference maker of the day. Jif makes the difference when trying to save the celery. Let's take a look at the difference makers of the tournament.
And lastly, which player this weekend do you forecast to be the biggest difference maker to their team to get from the Sweet 16 to the Final Four?
Sarah Strong from UConn. You know, we saw a huge first weekend from Paige Bueckers, but looking at how UConn is going to move out of here, I think we're going to see the freshman Sarah Strong really have an outsized role here. And I think she is going to be the one big difference maker when we're looking at UConn making it to Tampa.
You're going to need Strong to be strong. Thank you, Emma. Looking forward to an amazing weekend of hoops.